Hi guys. I guess when it rains it pours. I'm not waiting till tomorrow to finish these. I want to show you where I am, and I'm gonna glaze. I might just glaze the drawers right now for you. So I'm gonna look for myself on my iPad, and here's finished, and I'm gonna be using my favorite glaze. This is the Wise Owl Dark Star. I think it's called Dark Star. It's a blue, and I think it's going to look awesome over this green that we mixed up. So let me just find myself on my eye. How are you? Okay. I am, let's see. Oh, sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I have been... This is this morning's video here. So let me just glove up and find myself live instead of finding this morning's thing here. Okay. I'm excited though. The color is good, and I think the blue glaze is going to look awesome. So I'm not going to go for a shiny top coat. I'm just going to use what I have. And I figured glaze would be the ticket instead of using wax. All right, where am I? Where am I? So I'm going to glove up. The only thing I use gloves for really is glaze and stain, which I don't know why I'm already covered in paint, but whatever. All right, so I'm all gloved up. I've mixed up my Wise Owl Dark Star. I'm gonna move the camera so you can see everything I'm doing. I am gonna apply it with my Klingon brush, and then I have a pile of wet shop towels. They're wet and they're wrung out, and that's what I'm gonna use to wipe back the glaze and then keep what I want in all the little nooks and crannies. All right, so. I'm gonna dump a little onto my plate here, and then, let's see, I'm gonna get the drawers right where you can see them. I love glaze. It's like total instant gratification. And this glaze is really easy to work with too. And there's a lot of awesome colors. All right, so you can see that pretty well. Yeah. Say hello when you get here. Hello, Kim from Indiana. How are you? All right, I'm gonna dump a little onto my plate so that I can just dip right in there. And you don't need a whole lot. Little dab will do ya. Put it aside and hope I don't spill it. Now I have, since I saw you guys a couple hours ago, I have put a top coat on this. I always top coat before my glaze because the paint under this is porous, but it also helps you control your glaze better so it doesn't just soak in. You can control and move your glaze much better if you already have a top coat on. Boy, this makes me like double check to make sure that I didn't grab a paint. Ooh, the color combo is good. So I'm gonna end up wiping it off. It's not gonna soak in. So I'm gonna kind of slop it on. You don't need to be real neat about this, but I do want to make sure that I'm getting it like into all the little cracks. So that's why I'm doing the pouncing, because that's where I definitely want to leave the glaze. Just all those, okay. And I'll go all the way over to here, let's say. If you missed what this piece looked like a few hours ago, you have to go back on my page and look. It's a 1980s, total 1980s beast. Like, not in a good way. Like, I pretty much decided when I started this I couldn't do anything but make it better. All right, so I've got my wet shop towel wrung out, and now I'm just going to wipe back my glaze. Now I'm gonna, ooh, can you see where it's staying right in those spots? I'm gonna hold this up close to the camera in a minute so you can see. I'm just gonna keep turning my cloth. It dries pretty quickly, but it does have a good open time, especially because, like I said, this is sealed and I've got a wet cloth. Those are really the two tricks. I love the combo of this green and the blue. Oh my God, that looks so cool. All right, check that out. Can you see where the dark star just kind of settled into those crannies? That is pretty, pretty. I'm gonna keep going. Do what? Any of you here glaze? Are you regular glazes? Hi Helen, hi Kim. I love all of the Wise Owl colors, which I carry most of the glazes on my website now. The ones that I use the most are this one called Dark Star, and then there's another bronze one that I absolutely love. There's a white one that I still need to try, but I'm not sure what color to use it over, so I just haven't used it yet, but I will eventually get to them all. See how easy it is? You really can't mess this up if you seal first. The first couple times I glazed it, I didn't know that, and I didn't seal first. And it was very stressful because it dried and soaked right into my paint, and then I couldn't move it around, and it got too dark. And so you really just you really just need to know the tricks to make it easier for you. And if you take too much off, you can just add a little bit more in. You can go back and you could add a second color of glaze. Now the only part that I struggle with sometimes is when I'm leaving it, in the spots that I'm leaving it, I get a little anal sometimes. I guess I want to have like the straight lines like on these flat panels. What do you think of the color combo? I think it's really pretty. Hi Lishi, how are you? Helen, you glaze too. I'm glad. I like glazing and waxing, and both are fun. So I did that whole drawer with one cloth. I'm going to switch cloths for my next one. I think black would have looked good over this too, or a bronze or a brown glaze too. I had originally intended on waxing, but I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go in for top coats. So I'm thinking I wanted to do a gloss, and I don't even know what that would be because I don't have any glosses. But I couldn't do a gloss and wax. So here we are, hours later, doing something different than I expected to a while ago. All right, I've got a new cloth. So pretty. I'm using, I sealed underneath this. I'm using DIY paint, so I sealed it with the big top, just to get the sealer on there so I could glaze and have a little bit more manipulation with the glaze. And I probably will end up sealing it with big top unless I figure out, I'm thinking I might want to have a glossy finish on this. But I don't know what to use for a gloss because the top coats I happen to carry are not glossy. All right, oh, the one thing, if you are not a glazer, that I have found out the hard way is if you overwork this and if you over rub it, you end up with kind of like this area that you then can't get any paint or glaze to stick to. I don't really know what exactly happens, but I've had that happen and I've been unable to cover it. It's like it's if you overwork it. So don't continue to keep rubbing. You know what? Do a couple of nice clean swipes and you'll have better luck. I guess if you don't want everything perfect and you don't stress over everything, like when I have done this before and then ruined it, I'm a little more chill now, so whoops. Easy. Ooh, look at the grain showing up on the camera. I can't see that as much here. That looks really cool. Big Top is, yeah, it's like a polyurethane. So I use DIY paint, and this is their brand of top coat. That's Big Top. It's water-based, it cleans up easily, and it doesn't yellow. So it's not a polyurethane, but you know, it's a non-yellowing top coat. You could also use the Owl Varnish, which also is a non-yellowing top coat. Don't want to over rub that, but there we go. And I just need to get the top of it. I think this has a little bit of iridescence to it. I'm trying to remember. It's funny, I've used this over dark colors, like instead of a black. And it's definitely going to have some gold on it. Make sure I got all of it before I grab a different drawer. Yep, and it's already drying. It's drying, looks good. Let's see, I missed part of this one. I'm trying to update this so it doesn't look so 1980s, although it still kind of screams 1980. Okay, these two are done. Now, my bodies for this are not done drying, but I do have two more drawers. If you tuned in late, this is what I'm doing. I've got two of these nightstands, and they have huge brass, like they look like old big door knockers that I'm washing. And I'm just trying to update it. So those are the other drawers that I just did. So I'm going to pull these out and do the drawers. Then I can probably do the top and show you how I do that. The tricky part for me is always the sides, because I'm going to want to get like kind of striations in it instead of that cloudy look. And sometimes for that I'll use a big brush. That helps me get the striations the way I want it. Okay. All right, you guys can see okay, I think there. I'm gonna pour myself a little bit of more glaze. Such a pretty blue. I admit I am much more competent at waxing than glazing, but the more I do it, the more I love doing it. For some reason, glazing is just a little bit more challenging for me. I don't know why. I think because there's less perfection. You can't get it as perfect because you can't erase it and keep going back in to fix it like you can wax. But practice makes perfect, right? And it doesn't need to be perfect anyways. Isn't that pretty? Let's see, I may as well get that before I forget. Alrighty, and I have my wet shop cloth. It's just damp enough to be able to like help it glide right off. Hi, Paula. I wasn't expecting to be here again. I've continued to work on this I went live with this when it was naked a couple hours ago, you guys, if you missed it. And I didn't even know what I was doing. And then once I shut the camera off, I just kept working and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna glaze. This is why I don't schedule things, because I just, from hour to hour, never know what I'm doing. All right, and I've left it in all the little crevices there. Perfect color for this, I think. A Victorian Gentleman's Club. I'm not sure that I've ever really looked that style up, but it sounds very pretty. Or not pretty. Pretty isn't, gentleman's club isn't pretty. What's the word? Dapper? Regal? I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. And I'm gonna have to decide if I want the original pulls, which just are, they just scream. But I feel like I want to make them work and then add more kind of gold to it. They're not clean. I've got them soaking. They are very, like, put it on your door as a door knocker looking though. Big and bold and loud. But that might just be what's good about them. Alrighty, I keep turning it, oh, I got a little bit of clean left. I keep turning it over so I don't waste it, but I might need a new one. Let's see, I've got one left. The other tricky part for me sometimes is making sure your glaze is kind of even so you don't have like a ton on one drawer, and I can already see it. I've got way more in one panel over there than I do anywhere else. And I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that because once it's dried you can't really lift it. At least I've never found a way to lift it. Yeah, see this? That's the kind of thing that would bug me, I guess. Can you see how much more glaze there is on this one? Let's see what happens if I rub it. I don't. Maybe mineral spirit, but see, I don't want to take it all the way up. Well, actually, look, that's lightening up. And that's probably because I sealed it, that I was able to do that. Okay. Plus, it hasn't been done that long. So there is still some open time here, which is great. Yay. All right, I've got one more to do. Okay, I will look, oh, handsome. Helen, the word is handsome. So Victorian Gentleman's Club, I'm gonna look that up on Pinterest. Is this gonna like open up a whole new world for me? I don't know. Victorian Gentleman's Club. Sounds lovely. Okay, so this is the last drawer. If you're just tuning in, I am using DIY Paint Big Top Wise Owl Dark Star Glaze. Trying to get it all into those little crevices there. And I'm painting a 1980s a 1980s nightstand in the Victorian Gentleman's Club style. Well, there you go. There's an ad for you right there. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. So, does the Victorian Gentleman style, is it going to be glossy? Or no? Because I'm kind of struggling with what top coat would look good. Oh, there's no rush. I seem to have plenty of open time here, so. I was thinking kind of Hollywood Regency earlier, but not sure. I think the glaze kind of knocked that out. is pretty loaded here. Might be time for a new one. I don't know if I have any left that are already wet. Get the drawer sides and then I'll hold it up and show you what it looks like. Usually by the time I get my gold hardware and gold gilding on to bring everything together, it works for me. All right, I just have to, I see a little piece spot I missed here. A drinking saloon. Okay. I don't know, it's a good color combination, I think. I like the way that's all stuck right down there in the corners. Much better than how it started earlier today, I have to say. Alrighty, so do you want to see how I do the tops? I think I need to get, oh actually I have a water bottle, so I don't need to leave you to go into the bathroom. I can get myself some towels here. And actually, you know what, it would be quicker for me to soak these in water than squirt a water bottle, but when I get back, we're going to do the top of that. Take me 2 seconds. All right, so let me just get you close enough so that, which table do I want to move is the question. Let's move the camera table since it's on wheels and the other one isn't. Alrighty. Got my glaze. I've got my towels. See if I can get you a little closer to the top. And then I will start it from here and then stand behind it so I don't stand in your way. Oh, have you not seen the gold gilding before? The gold gilding is super easy. Let's see. I have to top coat after my glaze, otherwise I would show it to you now, but sure, I can video that. I basically use the gilding, the French gilding wax, and I apply after I'm done glazing, I'll top coat, and then the French gilding wax would go on, you know, I basically put it on my finger. I think I've done a lot of videos of that. I use it on everything. I've got it in gold, silver, and what's the other color? Copper. And I just love how it transforms. It's kind of like the, you know, putting on your diamond ring after you're dressed. All right, so I guess my plan is to glaze the entire piece now. All right, so for this, first I'm gonna do just the edges. Now I've got a couple dings, so that's what I'm pouncing into. Might as well let them show because I didn't cover them up, so. All right, so these, if you can't tell, these are, there's a groove here, which is why I just went around kind of in a circle there. Although you might be so up close you didn't see me go around the corner. All right, now I know from the past that that is too much left on there because, look, I'm distressing at the same time apparently. It's taken some paint off because I've done this quickly. In 2 hours I've gone from nothing on it to 2 coats of paint and a coat of sealer. I don't usually move that fast, but actually that looks okay. All right, can you see the difference? Oh, that looks good in there. Lisa, I am actually using, I'm not using Dark and Decrepit, I am using Wise Owl Glaze. It is Dark Star, which is like a navy blue. All right, now I'm gonna rub some on. It's gonna end up just spreading out with my cloth, so. And I'm gonna do it in strips. I'm not gonna do the whole thing at once. So I've got my towel, just trying to figure out what side to go on so that I'm not blocking you. So I think this is, a lot of times when I do these flat areas, I'll get, I felt like I said, a brush, like I have a big brush, but this is actually, I think, looking okay from where I'm standing. As long as it looks even. How's that? It's kind of hard to tell before it dries, and then when it dries, I'm always thinking, ooh, there's a spot I missed. So you don't need to completely cover it because you're able to move it with your cloth. So I've got it, you know, not fully covered. And I'm just going side to side, trying not to overwork it, trying not to go over the same spots twice until I am ready. So now I want to look at it and try to see if I can figure out where all the color is left. I'm going to get a fresh cloth because it's kind of heavy. Let's see, it's kind of heavy in two spots here, so I'm going to just go over them. Let's see if I can make that even. All right. I mean, oftentimes I really can't tell what I've got until it dries because it is a glaze. So, but I think that looks pretty even. What do you think? I think that's an awesome color combo. And then down on these legs, it's going to look pretty cool too. I don't know if you guys can see that well enough for me to even do it, but yeah, it's a quick, what I do with my brush. Definitely a nice quick change. These are some clunky legs. So wipe on, wipe off. I'm much more haphazard with those kind of parts, and then it just kind of sticks where you want it. All right, well, what do you think? I hope that if you don't glaze, that maybe it's something that you'll try. Definitely working in small sections is key. And this is easy. I love it. It gives so much depth and dimension. You know, just adding glazes or waxes, it just totally changes the piece. That's why I try really hard to not freak out. Like earlier today, I was not liking this at all. Is this gonna be too wide? Okay, good. Earlier today, I was not liking this at all, I have to say. I was really wondering where it was going. But I have to keep in mind that honestly, the last step is frequently the one that changes the whole thing. You know, your finishing details, your waxes, your glazes, your gilding, like all of that is what brings your piece together. And so, if you can picture that part of it and then wait to go in and take that leap, then your piece will really be transformed, because it's all about the layering. And see, I wiped off a little too much there. I want a little bit more left in that crevice. So I'm going to just touch it lightly now. Cool. Hi, Donna. Thanks. Now, all right, to be totally perfectly honest with you, this panel, I'm going to go ahead and do it, but I'm going to also say that these are the parts that challenge me the most. Let's see, the flat panels on the sides, the top is a little bit easier. Because I can never seem to get these to look the way I want, which is perfectly straight. Yeah, that's not straight at all, but I've also come to realize that a lot of the stuff that I notice in my pieces that bother me, a customer or somebody shopping for it, they're gonna know if it's appealing or not. And they're not gonna see the little nitpicky things that I see. Yeah, see, because I think that looks cool, but I also think it looks messy and uneven. But hopefully, I'm the only one who thinks that. All right, let's see how the top is looking. It's drying. See how it's yeah, so there's some spots that are a little bit darker glaze than others, and you really can't see that until it's done. I'm thinking once it's top coated and everything's on it, honestly, then you're not staring at those spots that are not as perfect as you would like. At least that's what I'm hoping for. All right, let's turn this. It is already dry though. Not that I'm going to finish this tonight, but there, what do we think? Hi, Gary. Thanks, Donna. All right, again, on these bottom parts, sloppy is okay because you're just gonna rub it right into the grooves. So I just want it in all those little nooks. See, that's why the flat parts are a lot harder, because there's no grooves to get, and you're kind of creating a pattern as you're wiping it off. So that's why I always feel like they need to be straight. But that's not true. There are some people that glaze and get this great cloudy effect. All right, let's see if I can turn this to the side, and then I can probably pop the drawers right in it and we can see what it looks like. This just barely fits in this direction. There we go. All right, let's finish this side and then pop the drawers in and see what it looks like. I don't know why I ditched my hair clip. I can't see anything. My hair's all in my face. That was a bad idea. I don't want to put too much on, but it's also kind of drying as needs to be wet enough for me to glide around. All right, here goes. I'm just going to go over it once and take off some excess, and then I'm going to go back in and try to make it look. So you can really leave as much or as little as you want. And here we go. All right. I think that's good. Did I miss anything? I missed the front. So we're going to finish the front and then put the drawers in. But you know what? This is pretty quick. Glazing is fast. So you just need to, I don't know if I said this already, but you do have to top coat over your glaze. Glaze does not have a top coat in it, so you do want to put just a clear top coat over it. And I don't think I got this. All right. I know I got that because I started rubbing paint off, although I can't really see it very well. All right, now I'm gonna move the table back and pop the drawers in so we can see what it looks like. Take my gloves off. I have no idea what time I turned the camera on, but see how fast that glazing is? And I could probably seal it tonight. I have no idea what time it is actually, so I may. If I have the right drawers or not. Oops, see, I see a spot that needs to be wiped. Let's see, where's my cloth here? All right, so once that is sealed and it's got the hardware on and the gilding wax on it, and I've got a second one. So this is 2 nightstands. I think the gold is going to pop it. You know, like right along these edges here where it's a little worn. What do you think? It was fast, it was easy, and high impact on the glaze. Whoop, sorry, that was a little dizzying. All right, well, thanks for catching me when I wasn't planning on being here. That's kind of how it is. Hi, Jean. Hey, Beth. How are you guys? I got my local people on here. I never see you. You can only see me. That doesn't seem right. All right, well, I think these will be finished tomorrow. I might seal them tonight, and then I will do the hardware tomorrow and the gilding wax tomorrow. I don't know what time. I can't tell you what time that'll be, but you can always catch the replays if you miss my lives. All right, have a great night, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.